Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Doorshutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of the Direwolf20 1.20 mod pack. Today is episode 58, and we're going to get into automating Mekanism just a little bit more this episode. So, first things first, I made an enriching factory, and I made a few patterns just off camera here to get enriched carbon, enriched redstone, enriched diamond, enriched obsidian, enriched tin. Enriched tin is going to be a special case because, of course, we need to actually break down 10 ingots into 10 dust. Nothing too complicated there, okay? So one of my issues is I really don't like doing this method where we have the pipes coming out of the back. I would love to try and figure out a way to make this better. But the other issue is I know that if we try, we're going to have the same issue because we're going to have just a whole bunch of interfaces for no reason. So we're going to try and just do it the old way. Even if I don't want to, we're going to try it. And let's get a flux point here. Doodle-doo. Actually, I probably could do this all one-sided. If I really wanted to. We probably could use laser IO here and probably simplify this quite a lot compared to the other side. But we're just going to have to use laser nodes, which I don't know how effective this really is going to be. But let's try this. Do a little bit differently than the other side, but that's okay. So we're going to put the interface here. Laser nodes here. Okay. And we're just going to focus on this one right now. So let's grab our card holder. So on the up direction, we're going to want to send power. On the let's place our flux point here. On the west direction, we're going to do extract power. We're going to then do... Why is it not letting me see my cards? Hold on. We're going to have to pull these out because apparently I can't see cards in there. There we go. We're just going to send max amount. Perfect. And we're just going to do digital mining. Just do all that stuff. Perfect. Okay, so with that, that should send power up, right? Then we're going to want to do on the up direction, extract. We can put in 2 of these and then minimize this to 10, do 32, that's fine. And then on the down direction, we're going to just send items in, right? So up, extract, there we go. Okay. So then what we can do is go to pipes. Actually, I guess if we really wanted to, we could probably do it to where we have on the east direction set to a new channel, extract, 2 upgrades, bring that down to 10, bring that up to 32, and then on this direction, at laser IO, if we grab some more item cards here, okay, do insert on channel 1. Man, I really hate the fact that Mechanism machines are so loud. Problem is, I don't know what a lot of these are. Okay, we'll just get rid of this one for right now. Anchor, Mechanism, it's the sawmill, dime machine, all that stuff. There we go. Okay, that should work. So if we grab redstone, so that should start processing. We're going to do auto sort here. We're going to get upgrades and everything in these in a little while. I'm just currently trying to get this working. So the only issue that I see with this is we'd have to do a new channel for every single one of these. So we may just want to ignore doing it this method. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that. And just do pipes. Let's make it easy. We're going to just send power and extract. Well, actually, extracting actually causes issues too, doesn't it? Because I'm going to have to set a new channel for every one of them. And we have like 15 channels, but man. Okay. Yeah, let's just uncomplicate this for right now. It's a good idea. I just don't feel like doing this right now. Um, Usually I would try and do something like this, but honestly, right now, I am not in the mood to make things complicated. So let's just uncomplicate things. Pipes, perfect. Flux pipe, good. Let's grab a pipe upgrade. Okay. And we're just going to go on the back here. This is our extraction. Let's see here. So I guess we could put pipe upgrades on these. And then for the interface here, let's move this to right here. Just kind of in that back direction there. And then we're just going to run a cable. We'll do interface. Go down. Okay. So that should be everything. We just need to configure this stuff. Oops. Yeah, the back direction. So output. And then front is input. So let's just do that. And then we're just going to do item pipes. I was also going to record this episode yesterday, which was the 15th, but I wasn't supposed to work, and then I got pulled into work. So, you know, it happens in life, and, you know, we just gotta deal with it. So, I don't have too much time to record this episode today, but, oh well. We'll get there in the end here. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Actually, for these, we're going to have to make these more complicated because it's an infusing factory. We'll get into it. So for the crusher and the enriching factory, this is basically automated. We send an item in, we get the item out, right? So crushing factory, we're going to want a couple things here, and let's go make those. Just for upgrades for Mechanism. I had to think of what I was thinking about there for a second. Okay. Let's clear this pattern. That was something I was looking at. So crushing factory. So we want Mechanism speed upgrades, which I can't remember if this is the osmium one. Okay, so it is the osmium one. So we're gonna want to do crusher. Just crush an ingot. And then for the other one, it is gold dust. I know that for a fact. So let's just grab that. Crusher, perfect. Let's grab some patterns real quick as well. Let's just go for 64. What is wrong? Why are you not being detected? Okay, you're being detected now. I don't think I've even ever shown this room on camera, besides in a live stream. But this is where our flux, or not our flux, our Certus quartz are being made, and Certus quartz dust and all that stuff. There's a live stream for it, that's for sure. Okay, anyway, that should allow for us to get what we were looking for, which was the patterns. So 63 patterns, perfect. And then just toss those in there. Okay, so then we've got those two. So that'll give us to the point of getting the actual upgrades that we can autocraft now if we wanted to, which we will need to because then it'll speed everything up here. Let's do auto sort. Let's make sure on the back direction that we are doing output. Let's clear this. So output, input, perfect. Okay, so let's get back here. Let's give this an old smackaroo. Make sure there's an upgrade. So that should be good. Okay, so with the infusing factory, we're going to have to take into account two things. Okay, one, we have to fill in this bottom slot, which is this yellow slot, right? So we're going to need to be able to toss in whatever items into this slot, and then also toss in the main input. And to do that, with laser IO, we're probably going to filter this. So we're going to have some filtering action. This isn't going to be that complicated. Overall, this is actually kind of making it a little bit more simplistic with the laser IO system. Let's make sure we get that out of here because we don't want that. So on the down direction, we're going to want one input and another input, channel 1. So for the first input, we're going to filter it at the base. So then we're also going to want to filter it here on the other side. And we'll say that this is our redstone one. We'll go with that one. Okay. So for the redstone one, we're going to want enriched redstone on the channel 1. This one right here. Okay. So we're going to say enriched redstone is allowed. Okay. And then here we're going to say enriched redstone is not allowed. Deny. Okay. So then on the insert on west, we're going to do this and this. Actually, I forgot to put these on extract. Let me do that real quick. Okay. And then we're also going to do the card overclockers. We're going to send this at 5 ticks, 64. And then same thing on this one. So 64, 5 ticks. We just gonna save performance a little bit. So, all right. And then on that west direction, we have an insert. So let's do channel 1. So on the insert of channel 1, we're gonna say on the up direction. So on the up direction of this block, we're gonna insert. So let's go in here. So let's go back is output, the top is input, and that is actually not correct in this case. You actually need to keep going. So that is going to be the extra slot, and then here is going to be input. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So basically, the extra slot is this yellow slot, which is where we need the enriched redstone to go. And then, for example, if we wanted to make a basic alloy, alloy, I think it's a basic infused alloy, isn't it? No, it's just infused alloy. I was mixing two things up. The basic control circuit's what I was mixing up. So the infused alloy, which is 1 redstone, 1 iron ingot, gives you 1 infused alloy. So this is your extra slot, this redstone stuff. And then your input, which is the red slot, is your iron ingot. Then that blue is your output, okay? And they do, of course, keep that color coordinated in here, but you also can just know by the actual things. So that is good, okay? Make sure auto sort's on because that doesn't matter. That'll just auto sort our actual top slot, not the yellow. Let's also make sure that we have auto eject on all these, just in case. So now what we should be able to do is get some redstone. We just have some enriched redstone in here. Toss that in there, and that should go into that yellow slot. Perfect. We probably don't want to keep this in here because that's probably going to cause some issues. So let's actually just grab some iron. Let's just quickly take this opportunity to get some infused alloy. And let's also go quickly craft up some speed upgrades. So speed upgrades from Mekanism. So these right here. And then also some energy upgrades. So this right here. Let's go toss these in our crafting. So each machine requires 8 of these. So let's go 7. And then let's go another 8, so 16, because I might as well. And then at mech upgrades, is that going to do that too? I don't know. I've realized that JEI is a little finicky now with the way it works. Because it's not doing that. Like the mech upgrade, this used to work for AE2. Doesn't appear to anymore. Not 100% sure why. But anyway, let's get over here. So for this, we're just going to throw in 8, throw in 8. So we're just shift right clicking. And that will give us pretty decent results. Okay, so let's grab some more iron. We also could throw in osmium, which is the basic control circuit recipe, but it does use double redstone, just so you're aware. The way we're going to pattern this, and I guess we could actually look at this too, is 8 to 1, right? 8 iron to 1 redstone enriched, and that'll get us the that'll get us to that conclusion. So we're gonna do processing patterns. So 1 redstone uh, equals 8 iron. So let's actually get that going. I have to remember how this functions for a second here. Middle. Okay, let's just do it this way, as it appears that I always have issues with this. So just 8. There we go. And then that will give us infused alloy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And then our basic control circuit, which is this right here. So this will give us 4. And then we just need osmium. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So there's our 2 redstone pieces. We also could do rose quartz for create as well. I believe that's in here. May not be. Hold on. Rose quartz. Just want to check because it's always a good thing to know. Yes, so that is in here. And that does use 8 redstone. So 1 enriched redstone actually will give you 1 to 1. So, interesting. Okay. So here we're going to do these 2 patterns. And then it is not auto outputting because I have not fixed the back here. Perfect. So that should clear that out. And for right now, we're actually just going to dump all that redstone. Not a big issue. Not really caring how much we waste on that. But that should allow for us to look at basic. We will just quickly do craftable only. Do 64, start. What we should see happen is all of the redstone got thrown in there. All of the osmium is in here. And we should have a perfect amount. Okay, there we go. All 64 have crafted. Beautiful. Okay, so basically that is the entirety of the automation. This is just going to copy to here, and to here. So what are we going to put in the rest of these? So this one is most likely going to be diamond. This one is most likely going to be the enriched obsidian. This one's going to be carbon for steel and stuff like that. I don't really think we need to actually automate steel because we have the steel B. So that is also generating steel. Just in case, we'll probably set that up. And then I think we actually want another one here for bronze. That's probably not a bad idea, which is that enriched tin recipe here. That can actually give you certain stuff. So enriched tin. So this right here can give us bronze. That's not a bad option, especially because I know we're using bronze a little bit here and there. I'm pretty sure, right? Is this the right material that I'm thinking? Or is it brass that we're using? No, we're using the gear bushings. So yeah, this is something we probably want to automate just because then gears kind of get sorted out just a little bit easier. So that will definitely be something we take into account. But I'm not going to do the rest of these on camera because this is just time consuming, repetitive. There's not a whole lot to it. We're basically just going to keep that same premise of, hey, this is it, our enriched variant. This can only go into one slot. Okay, so for the diamond, the enriched diamond is going to be allowed on the top, not the front. The enriched refined obsidian doesn't go here, goes on top. The carbon, the enriched carbon doesn't go here, goes on top, so on and so forth. The only thing I can think of is for steel. You're gonna have to process this twice, right? So for steel, Oh, it's gonna be a little funky here. Let me look at the steel ingot recipe because this is the wrong steel ingot. Um, Kind of funny, right? Still active for some reason, but oh well. The steel recipe is the steel blend, and the steel blend comes from enriched iron with coal or carbon. So 1 to 1, so 8 to 8 basically, and there or 1 to 8 because you have the enriched, which gives you 8, and then of course you throw in 8 enriched iron to get your full thing. So enriched iron is also 1 to 8 because you need 8 carbon to 8 ingots, and then that will give you enriched, and then that gives you the ability to do it again, and that gets you steel blend, and then that's smelted. So the only issue, of course, we're gonna have is the fact that I have 2 different steel ingots overall, but we'll figure that one out. So that one basically processes twice, and then you have to smelt it, which I think we have our smelter over here. So that'll be kind of a couple cross patterns and stuff like that, so we can get that fully going. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me this episode, guys. I do apologize for this being a little bit shorter and also not really that in depth. It's going to be repetitive. A lot of AE2 crafting is repetitive. It's not that interesting overall. It does get a little bit tedious, especially. And if we have more than one recipe, or more than 9 recipes in this case, not just one. For example, like the furnace, what we can do, and I'll fix that here in a second, is actually get the mega crafting pattern thing. This thing right here. This does support more patterns. So if you have a whole bunch of patterns for your furnace, of course, this will be helpful. Of course, if you have more than that, you may just need to make another furnace. And this, of course, can also be converted into the flat piece, just like that. So, definitely some things to think about. I know between this episode and next, I will get this all completed. That is going to be not too difficult just because it is repetitive. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.